WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Selena Schaefer. The Trump administration is moving quickly to find a new FBI director after the president fired James Comey last week. Lawmakers from both parties spoke out today about who should take Comey's place. Roxana Saberi has the latest from New York.
Former U.S. Attorney Michael Garcia and Alice Fisher, an assistant attorney general under George W. Bush, arrived at the Justice Department this weekend. They're among the more than dozen lawmakers, attorneys, and law enforcement officials emerging as candidates for the next director of the FBI.
I think the process is going to run quickly.
While the search goes forward, debate continues over how President Trump handled the firing of FBI Director James Comey.
The developments of the past week very bothersome, very disturbing to me. I think in many ways our institutions are under assault.
Former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper says President Trump is responsible for the assault. Some lawmakers are also criticizing President Trump for Comey's abrupt dismissal because the FBI is investigating whether anyone from the Trump campaign was involved with Russia's meddling in the election.
The president needs to back off here and let the investigation go forward.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham wants a candidate from inside the FBI to lead the agency. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he wants an FBI leader who has courage and experience.
The nominee should be not a partisan politician, not part of either party. This demands a serious, down-the-middle investigation.
President Trump says he may pick an FBI nominee by Friday. Roxana Saberi for CBS News.
Traditionally, the FBI director serves for 10 years but can be replaced by the president. Across the South, some lawmakers are drafting laws to remove Confederate monuments. New Orleans recently removed the statue of Confederate President Jefferson Davis as part of an effort its city council started 2 years ago to take down 4 Confederate monuments. There's still controversy over several Confederate monuments, including one of Robert E. Lee in a park in Charlottesville. An alt-right group lit torches and chanted, standing against the removal of the Confederate monuments there. They chanted, "Russia is our friend," an alt-right group also there at Lee Park on Saturday night because they say that they're preserving European American heritage. It was Vice Mayor Wes Bellamy who led the charge to remove Confederate monuments from Charlottesville last year. He says that this type of protest shows the white supremacy that exists in their community.
We can't be the capital of the resistance. We can't be a welcoming city. We can't be all of these things when we still have individuals who feel as if it's okay to send clear messages of intimidation to minority communities and individuals who are not of the majority.
Mississippi's flag is the last state flag to feature the Confederate battle emblem. Several proposals popped up and legislators trying to force the universities to fly the state flag. However, those measures died in committee meetings during this year's session. Members of the 1st Battalion 185th Aviation Regiment, headquartered in Tupelo, start their trip to Fort Hood, Texas today. Approximately 130 soldiers are deploying for 10 months in support of Operation Joint Guardian. 60 of those are assigned to regiments headquarters in Tupelo. The other 70 are assigned to companies A and D in Jackson. The unit will provide rotary wing aviation lift support using Black Hawk helicopters in the Balkans.
There are some challenges being in the Guard, getting everybody together for one weekend a month, but we were able to perform annual training, and we did a good train up at Camp Shelby, and we're ready to deploy.
After Fort Worth in Texas, the battalion will then head to Kosovo. Columbus's husband and wife Salvation Army commanders say farewell to the city they've selflessly served. Commanders Alan and Cheryl Phillips are retiring. Last November, Alan was diagnosed with stage 2 leukemia. The couple plan to spend some quality time together while Alan undergoes cancer treatment. This morning, community members and several Salvation Army officers from around the area came to bid farewell to the Phillips. The farewell service included music, prayer, and scripture, followed by a reception.
We think of our last 2 years here and how amazing it's been with this community and the way they are. And then we think ahead to something new, retirement, knowing that we're not going to go to another corps. We're going to go and I guess, I don't want to say just enjoy life, but pretty much to do that.
The Phillips plan to make Georgia their new home. The couple will first take a sabbatical to deal with Alan's cancer diagnosis before easing into official retirement. Time now to turn it over to weather for our first look with meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Jacob.
We have a beautiful night out there. As we look across at our Doppler radar here, we can see those showers off in Oklahoma. Let's go ahead and switch over to Lynx 2. We can look at our sky cam right now. We're at 62 degrees in Columbus. Tonight we'll drop those temperatures down into the mid-50s. We'll keep the clear sky and have a nice starry night with calm winds out there. Coming up, though, we'll talk about the hot and dry weather coming all week. Maybe we'll get an isolated thunderstorm here and there, but the pattern flip coming might not be for next week. We'll have all that and more coming up later in the show.
Alrighty, well, several weeks ago, the sign of Victory Center Church in Starkville was vandalized. The letters KKK were scratched onto the surface. Since then, multiple donations have been received by the church to pay for a new sign. The new sign has been paid in full and now sits in the front of the facility. WCBI's Parker King visited the pastor and the church and joins us live in the studio to tell us more. Parker.
Selena, I spoke with the pastor of Victory Center, and he told me the original plan was to cover up the scratched letters with another picture. Now a brand new sign has come from this act of vandalism, and the church is grateful for this amount of support.
An unexpected outcome to a negative situation.
It was very exciting how the community came together.
This new sign highlights the front of the Victory Christian Center, but it also represents something deeper. It shows how an act of hate was turned into a community-wide show of love.
It was a tragic situation, but out of that tragedy came triumph, where that the community just refused to have such a situation in our community.
The community support took some by surprise. Many of the donors weren't even church members. Some donations even came from surrounding churches. They were just making sure that their neighbors were okay.
It was just tremendous. I did not think that the community at large would really put themselves out to such an extent.
The new sign comes as a great alternative to Pastor Boyd's original plan of simply covering up the vandalism. It comes as a relief to him and the congregation, and they express their gratitude to all who helped with the sign.
Really, our sign was obsolete, but now we got a completely new sign as a result of a negative situation, and we appreciate the community. We appreciate the Lord for allowing it, to put it on the hearts of the people to be supportive in that area.
In Starkville, Parker King, WCBI News.
Pastor Boyd appreciated that the viewers of the story on WCBI were so generous with the new sign. Without them, this could not have become a reality. Selena, back to you.
All right, beautiful story there of a community coming together. Well, coming up after the break, we're going to take a look into one mother's unforgettable gift.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Selena Schaefer.
Welcome back. Mother's Day is a day to give thanks to those who raised us to be who we are today. But sometimes even mothers need help, especially in times of dire need. Garrett Brown introduces us to a mother who received one of the greatest gifts of all.
In this quiet house in Terre Haute lives Lolita Vega and her husband. For her, it's been a rough couple of years ever since one trip to Union Hospital.
And when I went there, I ended up being told that I was having kidney failure. And the next thing I knew, I was in intensive care.
Lolita needed a kidney transplant. For more than 4 years, she was on a donor list, waiting for the call that never came. Then family members were tested. Only one of her daughters, Gabrielle, was completely compatible.
Everything I did when I was little, I followed my mom, and I just adore her. She's everything to me.
But a transplant from Gabrielle would have to wait. That's because she too was becoming a mother. Lolita and her family faced obstacle after obstacle, and her condition got worse.
I ended up getting very, very sick where they told me I was going to pass away.
But with the love and support of her family, Lolita kept strong. Gabrielle was finally cleared to donate. And 3 days after Lolita's birthday, they both went off for surgery. And 5 hours later, the surgery was a success.
And they kept coming, doctors kept coming in there telling me, your kidney's working like a horse for your mom.
A week has passed since the surgery, and they're both recovering. But Lolita is still feeling the effects of her daughter's love.
I waited for so many years to try to get a kidney.
for my daughter to be the one.
And even though the road to recovery will be long, Lolita will always have her family and friends to help her through. But what she will always take to heart:
She's my child. It's a special thing because I carried her inside of me. And now I carry a piece of her inside of me.
is her children's love of their mother. In Terre Haute, Garrett Brown.
Beautiful Mother's Day here in Northeast Mississippi and West Alabama. We still have drought, though. That sunshine's great. Some of the bad things of it. Coming up, we'll time out our next chance of rain. We'll take a look at some of our own moms here in the studio, too.
Your first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Today was absolutely beautiful out there. Hopefully you got some time outside with the family. Brittany sent this in. She and her kids were enjoying lunch there by the pool today. Really nice weather for what we have here in May. We got into those 80s today. We're cooling down quickly, though. We see those 60s. A couple of us are in the 50s there. Columbus right now, we are at 62, 65 in Tupelo. Oxford at 61. We see 57 in Louisville as well. We're going to keep cooling off through the night, though. We're going to cool off fairly evenly all across the southeast here. Seeing those 60s and 70s on the board there. This warm air mass is here to stay for a couple more days at least. That's why we're going to see those temperatures in the 60s, 70s at night, and during the day we'll get them up into the 80s and 90s. Here's our current satellite and radar. Not a cloud in sight today. We didn't see anything out there. We're not going to see any clouds for at least a few more days before we start to get some that move in. But tonight, though, will be clear and cool as we get down to 54. A starry night there. You can see some of the stars, perhaps some of the planets out there. Maybe get a good look at the moon as well. As we head into tomorrow, then, we're going to wake up with these low temperatures here at 54 in Columbus, 54 in Amory, Tupelo at 54 as well. All across the board, they're hanging in those mid-50s, but we warm up quickly as we head through the day then. Louisville, we'll be at 65 by 8 a.m. We're going to get to the 80s by lunchtime. You want to take a walk on your lunch break, maybe have it outside. 91, though, by 5 p.m. I think it'll be hot out there. Be shorts and a t-shirt as you're heading home from work and maybe spend the evening with the kids. Let me look at forecast highs here as we see 91 in Louisville, 91 in Columbus as well, 89 in Amory and in Tupelo, upper 80s and low 90s on the board. That's going to be the pattern for us for the next several days as well. Here's our temperature trend showing we are above average by 5 to 10 degrees, keeping those 80s and those 90s on there all the way through Thursday. Now, with the sunshine and the heat, we are in the drought. Still, we've got the dry conditions to moderate drought in our area. And if we look for the chance of rain, we're not going to see much of anything. Thursday, we do see a light shade of gray on the board, but that's not more than a trace. We might get a shower here and there, but I think most, if not all of us, will stay dry. And as we head into the weekend, then we maybe get some greens in there, but that's not even a tenth of an inch. We'll need more than that if we want to get anything beneficial to help take care of that drought. Looking at that 7-day, then 90s Monday and Tuesday, maybe a spot shower on Thursday. Saturday and Sunday then are warm into the weekend when we get our next chance of isolated showers on Sunday.
All right, just one more win. That was the story for area baseball team looking to make a state title. Highlights from East Union, Moorville, and Smithville next in sports.
Here's WCDI Sports with Tom Emmel.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Couldn't have asked for a better weather today for some seriously important baseball. Game 3 Sunday. 3 games with 3 spots and a title game on the line. Starting in 3A, the Moorville Super Troopers taking on Kossuth for a shot at the title. Moorville starts out of the gate fast. Here, Andy Franks launches a liner down the right field line. Here comes Trace Henry from first. He's charging through third base. He's going to get home. No one's stopping him. Troopers, they lead 1-0 after 1. Austin Higgs on the mound for Kossuth. He'd settle in after that inning. Here he gets 1 strikeout, and not just 1, but 2 straight Ks here in the bottom of the second. He's looking good there, but Moorville would figure him out by the end of the inning. It's Henry again. A chopper gets past third. Here comes John Mac Peters. He's going to round third, gets all the way to the plate for the score. Moorville leads 2-0, and then tack on 4 more to head to the state title game. Moorville heads to Pearl with the Game 3 win over Kossuth, 6-1. To the 2A North Half Final, the Urchins of East Union looking to get back to the title, facing Ingomar. Josh Basil on the mound, throwing the sauce on Sunday. This K ends the first. He'd strike out 3 of the first batters he'd face. Urchins would come up with the run support to help out Basil. Up 1-0 here. Ty McDonald comes through with the base hit. Cade Bell comes in to score. East Union, they lead 2-0. The Falcons try to hang on. Check out this play from Kellen Hall, showing off the weather. That is a big-time play at second base for Hall, but it wouldn't be enough. The Urchins hang on to win 5-4. They advance to back-to-back state titles. Heck of a series up in Union County. The 1A title on the line between Smithville and TCPS, a trip to the final on the line. A slugfest series would continue in this one. Aubrey Cox trying to end a scoreless streak. He's going to get things going. Advances the runner. He's fired up. And then it'd be Dustin. That's Dustin Moffitt coming up in the clutch. That breaks the scoreless streak, brings McNeese home. Seminoles, they lead 2-0 after 4. Still up 2-0 here. Grant Johnson was dominant on the mound, but John Mark Jolly gets the best of him with that at-bat. Gets the single. That would lead to a bases-loaded situation here in the 6th, but the Seminoles defense would come up clutch yet again. Here a great play at second for the scoop and the out. Smithville hangs on unscathed in that inning, on their way to pitch a shutout to get to the state title game. Smithville takes down the defending champs with the 3-0 victory. So we'll take a look at some of the state title matchups we've got. Tupelo taking on the winner of Oak Grove and Gulfport. That game between Oak Grove and Gulfport coming up tomorrow. Game 1 of that series on Wednesday. Those W's and T's you see, that's the date for Game 1 this week. In 5A, Oxford taking on Pearl River Central. 4A, Corinth taking on West Lauderdale. And 3A, the Super Troopers will take on Seminary coming up on Tuesday in Game 1. And then to 2A, we've got East Union taking on Lloyd Star in a rematch from last year's matchup. Lloyd, that for Game 1 will come up on Wednesday at 1 p.m. And then in 1A, the great area matchup for us, Smithville taking on Nanawaya for the 1A title. That series first pitch is at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. Coming up next in sports, a must-win series for the Rebels, looking to get it done on Mother's Day. We'll see if the Rebels can get it done next in sports. Welcome back. A must-win series for the Ole Miss Rebels, looking to get that series victory over number 19 Texas A&M. The Rebels would be thanking their mothers on Mother's Day. Of course you would. They're going to look to win it for them. Here they got off to a good start here in the bottom of the first. Ryan Olenek with a golf swing. That's going to be deep enough in the right outfield to bring in Will Golson from third. Rebels would tack on 2 in the first inning. They take the early lead. One of my favorite traditions, the running of the cups. What did the yellow cup do to you? Tate Blackman must have loved that energy because he's going to crush this one to left. That one's over the fence. Solo jack for Blackman here in the bottom of the 8th. It's going to make it 4-1 Rebels. 2 batters later, the senior, Colby Bortles, is going to send another 1 yard. This could be his last bat at Swayze Field as a Rebel. Couldn't have ended it in a better way. He's going to send a 2-run jack into the seats. Brother Blake and family, they love it. Love it. Colby swinging jacks for his mom on Mother's Day. Ole Miss gets the big-time win over Texas A&M 6-3. They'll finish their last 4 games on the road this week. Mississippi State trying to get out of Athens with a series win. They wouldn't get off to a good start. Here in the bottom of the first, Michael Curry takes a Jacob Billingsley pitch for a ride to left. Georgia strikes first, 2-0. That's exactly how the score would look through the bottom of the 6th. Then here the Bulldogs from Athens, they're going to add a little bit more. Here a chopper up the middle. That's going to bring home a run, or I should say a blast to the wall. Lucky it gets off the wall there. That's going to bring in another run, and a play at the plate is safe. It'd be deja vu for Mississippi State from Saturday's game. The offense just wasn't working for them over in Georgia. Here a pop up to right. This is Elijah McNamie's going to pop one up. Georgia tries picking off at first, and Cody Brown's going to sneak in for the score. That'd be the only run the Bulldogs put up. Mississippi State falls on the road, loses the series to Georgia with the 4-1 loss. They'll be preparing for LSU at home coming up this weekend. Fresh off winning their first SEC softball championship, the Rebels will host their first NCAA regional game in school history. Ole Miss will host up in Oxford. They'll be taking on Southern Illinois Friday at 8:30 p.m. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, they'll be packing their bags and traveling cross-country for round 1 of the NCAA tournament. Mississippi State is placed as a 3 seed in the Salt Lake City Regional. They'll be taking on BYU Thursday at 5 p.m. A crazy stat of the softball NCAA tournament, all 13 SEC schools made it to the tournament. That sets a new record for college softball. We'll have the last of your forecast coming up next.
Hot and dry in that 7-day forecast, getting 80s and 90s all the way through the end. If you get a shower this next week, you're going to be one of the lucky ones out there. But I think most of us are going to stay high and dry, probably even into next week as well, as we look to hang on to this pattern for quite a while, it looks like.
All right, well, we had a beautiful Mother's Day and a beautiful weather for it, and we thought might as well show and thank our moms. So here, well, there's me and my mom. So happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Cool. All right, here is my mom, and there I am as a little kid. I had some bangs there for sure, but happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you, and I miss you, and I'll see you soon.
There's my mom, Lori. Gotta love her when I was younger, but love you, Mom. Thanks for everything.
And I guess we'll do my mom. Hey, there's my beautiful mother, Kim, with me and my brother at my sister's wedding. Happy Mother's Day to Mom. Couldn't be where I am today without my mom, that's for sure.
Here's some of our production people's moms, Sophia and Ian, sharing their moms. Happy Mother's Day to you guys. And then we have a special Mother's Day wish for AJ Stubbs, or one of our production guys. His mother passed away back in October, so we want to wish her a very happy Mother's Day in heaven. So thank you.
Yeah, what a wonderful Mother's Day.
I know.
What a wonderful Mother's Day.
Beautiful
Perfect weather,
show.
perfect day, perfect way to end it.
I mean, and we have so much to be thankful for because, you know, like you said, we wouldn't be here without our moms.
That's
So
a fact.
happy Mother's Day to
Absolutely.
all of you wonderful moms out there.
For
Thank you for what you do every day. And thanks for joining us and staying up with us this evening. We hope you have a great start to your week.
Love you, Mom. Shout-outs, right?
Oh, sure.
Sure.